Hello guys, it's Teenage Marvel Fan, back with another video, and in today's video I will be going over what was shown in the additional 7 minutes of footage for the Avengers Endgame re-release. If you have not seen Avengers Endgame, first of all, leave this video and return to it once you've seen the movie, and second of all, how have you not seen this movie? What are you doing with your life? But back to the video. Yeah, so also, if you haven't seen the re-release and you're going to, then you might not want to watch this, but, I mean, it's not really anything important. It's not really a spoiler, it's pretty much just a deleted scene and a few other things. So anyway, let's get right into this. So, the big question is this worth checking out? I think yes. You know, the 7 minutes of extra footage, it really isn't anything too great, but if you're a hardcore Marvel fan and you really want Endgame to beat Avatar, then go see it just for that. Plus, you get the free poster if your theater is handing those out, and, you know, the additional footage, that's cool too, nothing too special, but I'm going to break it down right now. So, things kick off with a wonderful tribute to Stan Lee. We get a behind-the-scenes footage from his cameo appearances in the MCU, and there's some really funny moments, especially when he was on the set of Avengers Age of Ultron, when he asked Chris Hemsworth what the hell he just said, as they rehearsed their cameo. And there were also some interview segments with Stan Lee where he talked about how lucky he was to be involved with these characters in the movies, and that it's hard not to tear up while watching it, because, you know, he created these characters, and now they're some of the most popular things in the world. Like, you can ask anybody, like, you can just mention the word Marvel, and everybody will know what it is. Like, even if they're not a Marvel fan, or if they've never seen a Marvel movie, they will have at least heard of it. And then it also concludes with Stan, we love you 3000. So, you know, that's nice. And then there was a message from Anthony Russo. Basically, he was just doing a introduction to the deleted scene. He said, "We shot some scenes that we had to cut out. I know, the movie could have been even longer. We shot some great stuff, but we had to make our choices." And then he notes that he loved this scene but couldn't keep it in because it just slowed down the story and didn't really fit in. So then that's when you get into the deleted scene featuring the Hulk, and it kicks off with a shot of a burning building and flames that, and then the camera pans down to the ground when we see the firefighters scrambling to save people on the 40th floor, and then suddenly a figure leaps into the building, and we see the silhouette of the Hulk. He then jumps out of the building carrying a massive satellite dish, and then he lands on the ground, and then, you know, he says some funny stuff because, you know, he's a mixture of Bruce and the Hulk, so now he's, like, funny, I guess. So then, he's wearing his jumpsuit, of course, and then, he gets a call, and then he just says, "Steve?" So apparently he was getting a call from Steve, and basically this deleted scene would have gone right before the diner scene, because this would have shown what Bruce has been doing as Professor Hulk, or Smart Hulk, since he became Smart Hulk, and how he was still being a hero even without being part of the Avengers. And so yeah, this was basically, like, with the call that he got from Steve, that's why he showed up to see Steve and Scott and stuff like that. And then after that, we got a Spider-Man Far From Home sneak peek, which is actually just the first few minutes of Spider-Man Far From Home, from what I've heard. If you don't want to know about this, then go ahead and leave the video, I guess. But, you know, it's not really anything spoilerish. Like I said, it's just the first few minutes basically the introduction to Mysterio in the movie, and it gets me even more hyped for the movie. So yes, I guess you've been warned. So yeah, like I said, this is the arrival of Mysterio, and it starts off with Nick Fury and Maria Hill. They're investigating an attack from one of the elementals. And basically, they're like walking through a town, and it's like completely destroyed. And then Maria Hill's, "Are you sure this is the right spot? I don't think we're supposed to be investigating unusual weather patterns." So then Nick Fury says, "Somebody said that they saw a cyclone with a face." Or maybe it was a tornado, something like that. And then they turn around, and then a huge puff of green smoke appears, and then Mysterio is just standing there. So that's the introduction to Mysterio. And then he's like, "Who are you?" And then Nick Fury and Maria Hill turn around because Sandman shows up, or at least who we're calling Sandman. It's basically the Earth Elemental. And then Mysterio says, "You don't want any part of this." And that's the scene from the trailers. Actually, the first time that we ever saw Mysterio in his suit with his helmet was in that first trailer during this part. So yeah, and then he just shoots at Sandman, and then that's where it ends. So I think that this is another, I feel like they've shown a lot from Spider-Man Far From Home. There's been a lot of trailers, there's been a lot of, TV spots, but this definitely doesn't give away too much, and I think it's a good sneak peek. And then there was one final message that basically just said, "From all of us at Marvel Studios, thank you." And then, so yeah, that's how the extra content ends. And, well, it's definitely nice to see the studio thank its fans, because, without us, they wouldn't be what they are today. And honestly, this content could have been a lot better. Like, why not show that huge scene, like the one with Tony Stark and Morgan, which would have been Catherine Langford, and, we'll probably see that on the Blu-ray, but it would have been nice to see that here. But this whole content thing was still a good excuse to see Avengers Endgame one final time before it's released on DVD and Blu-ray and digital and all that stuff. So, what did you think of all this extra content? Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in my next video, so I can bestow all my Marvel knowledge upon you.